What makes relationships last?
Our relationship has had its ups and downs, but what we've found is good communication holds everything together.
We decided to dedicate time every week to not only strengthen our relationship, but stimulate personal growth.
Strong relationships are built on strong communication.
Welcome to Date Night Conversations.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Date Night Conversations. I'm Chantel.
And I'm Greg.
And guys, in this episode, Greg and I are going to ask each other 3 random questions we have never asked each other before.
And I'm always looking forward to these questions. We've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah, I think we started in February of 2021 this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's now November.
Yeah.
I can't believe that every time there are different questions that make you think on a different level.
Yes.
And spinning into conversations that we've never had before.
Right, and what's also really awesome is we get to interact with our viewers to gain a different perspective to the answers on some of these questions.
Absolutely. So I love that, and really the reason that we do is because we keep learning more about each other. Communication is key, and we'll keep talking about that.
Yeah.
But as much as we learn about each other, we get to learn about you guys also,
Yes.
as you're learning about us.
Yeah, so guys, please drop a comment down below and give us some answers to some of these questions. All right, guys. So you ready to get into it?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. All right, so first question, I believe you're up.
All right. Question number 1.
Okay.
Who had the most influence on you growing up?
Okay. I have to point to my best friend. I think
Okay.
I had one friend.
Interesting.
Growing up, it wasn't very easy. I've mentioned it a lot of times that my childhood was rough. In saying that, I mean that my mom was a single mom. I had a lot of problems as a kid, and the problem was me. The latter half of elementary school, I really didn't have any friends. I kind of like pushed people out of my circle. There's a lot of bullying going on from both sides, and then I just ended up with one really good friend who influenced me just to be my best self, ignore the haters, and continue to grow. She probably didn't realize that at the time, but she's the only one that stuck beside me through all the mess, through all like the drama, and it didn't matter. She was so proud to have me as her best friend. And when I look back at it, I think she's the one that had the most influence. Like, she pushed me to do a lot of things, as well as I'm sure I had, an influence on her upbringing, like growing up with her. But I think like we pushed each other, like where I was weak, she was strong. And I mean, she was the one that graduated with me a year early in high school, right? So
when did you meet her?
She went to my elementary school. I went to the elementary school she was going to in grade 2. I met her in grade 3, and we became best friends in grade 5.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to say, because I always knew her, like she was around, but then,
When you met her versus when you became friends.
Right, like she was always there at recess,
Yeah.
playing with the same friends, we had mutual friends, but we didn't start a connection until we were in the same classes together, and we kind of just vibed together. So I think she had a really big influence on me because she, at the time, was my only friend. Throughout high school, I only had that one friend.
You still friends?
We're still friends.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. I can see that.
How about you?
I really don't know. Like, there's no immediate person that comes to my mind. Who had the most influence on you growing up? Because I definitely had friends, but I almost had friends in stages. Like, I had friends in my grade school, then friends in middle school, friends in high school, and they kind of like shifted and overlapped, but like different people throughout.
Okay. So did they influence you in any way in every stage that you've experienced?
I feel like I was very much my own person.
Mm-hmm. And
So
that's okay too.
And that's probably why like things sort of went through different stages. As I did my thing, you just go to groups that are like-minded,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, I still keep in touch with a lot of those people, like through social media.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of some.
Maybe you were
Who
your
had the
own
most, right?
influence.
But I'm even trying to think if there's like a TV show or somebody famous or like anybody who I kind of.
But it's fine if you are your own influence, like you're your own person. There's no one you really follow. There's no one that you had a close relationship that you did everything this person did.
It could be my parents too, right?
It could be
Having an influence on me, or
Maybe
even my siblings.
or your dad.
If I had to say something like that, who had the most influence on me growing up, like I'm gonna go with my dad, just through the earlier years when my dad was still there. I think there's a big impact on who I am because of that time. My parents separated when I was, I'm going to say 12. I don't remember the actual age. I'm going to say the growing up is that those are sort of the most important years of your life up to like preteens.
Yeah, most impressionable ages.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My dad is pretty strict. And I think a lot of who I am is because of that time in my life. I think I was a good kid. I'm a good person.
Yeah, you are.
And I think a lot of it had to do with the way I was raised. So I'm going to go with that. Probably
Fair
my dad.
Fair enough. All right, guys. So that's our answer. We want to throw the question back to you guys, but let's read it one more time. Who had the most influence on you growing up? All right, guys, we want to hear your answers. You know what to do. Drop a comment down below.
I can just imagine so many different living situations people could have, that whether it's friends, whether it could be a teacher, it could be
music,
a nanny,
the culture.
Yeah,
like it could be so many things.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll be interesting. This one's really interesting.
Okay.
All right. So second question.
Second question.
Okay, and I'm up.
You're up.
Okay, cool. What holiday traditions are important to you that you'd like us to keep going into the future?
You know what? I think since the pandemic, we've sort of had to start doing more of our own thing because we're not with the extended family as much anymore.
Yes, that's right.
It's weird because I'm hoping that in the very near future we look back at this and can say, remember that time? But what I think it's allowing us to do is sort of start our own kind of traditions.
Yes, I totally agree.
So what holiday traditions are important to you that you'd like us to keep going into the future? So in kind of saying that, there's things that I appreciate from my childhood that I really enjoyed. So I have a German background, and I would always go to my grandparents or my dad's side of the family and have their version, or traditional German version of Christmas we would do on Christmas Eve with my dad's whole side of the family, my siblings, cousins, everybody. It'd be like a big thing. We'd all go to church first and then go back to one of my relatives' house after. And specific type of tree, I think it's a type of spruce tree. It's not a traditional Christmas tree that you would see like the firs and stuff that they have here. And real candles on it. So the spruce tree has, the boughs are a little more spaced out, so you can actually have candles on the tree.
Right.
And it's decorated very different. It's beautiful. And I really appreciated that growing up. It's still, up until, I guess it's been 2 years ago that we've been able to do that.
Yeah.
So when Christmas Eve was with my dad's side of the family, Christmas morning would be in the immediate house. So mom, dad, sister, brother. And then that afternoon we'd go to my mom's family. So Christmas Day with my mom's family. So I always have kind of 3 Christmases.
Oh, nice.
And that was my tradition growing up.
It's a happy time to celebrate because you go to see so many people.
Exactly, right? So as a
Love
kid, you're
that.
like, I'm going to get something 3 times.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
But that's not something that I need us to carry on in our home. And the other thing would be the kids wouldn't get to see the Christmas tree until Christmas morning. And that was, I grew up with that. So those are some of the traditions, but I don't feel it necessary to carry on anymore. And so holidays, same with Thanksgiving. We used to go to relatives' house, and then this year's the first year we did it ourselves.
Yeah.
And did turkey and everything.
Yeah.
And I appreciate having it more
Like hosting
us doing
it. Yeah, then
hosting
going.
ourselves, having it with family versus always going somewhere else.
Right.
So what holiday traditions are important to you? I appreciate all those things on the holidays, and I think it's just a matter of doing it and keeping that, even if it's
something
at home.
small.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you.
I don't think there's any specific thing that I grew up with that I'm like, I need to hold on to that aspect particularly.
Right. No, I hear you.
And the kids, it's more almost making it special for the kids. And what was special to me when I was young might not be the same to them.
Yeah, you just make it your own now.
Yeah. So, how about you?
Yeah. So, for me, what holiday traditions are important to me? You know what? They all are important as long as I have my family. So, Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, whatever it is. I think those are like the
Easter.
Easter. Those are like the top 4 that we celebrate.
Halloween's not so much a holiday, it's more like a special event.
Oh, you're right. Halloween is a special event. So we'll scratch
yeah.
Halloween, but the
Easter,
other 3,
Thanksgiving,
Christmas.
I think those are
The big 3.
Yeah, and we used to always do those. Well, at least when we met, you would come to my family.
Yeah,
first.
because growing up, my mom was a single mom and she was just always working. And my mom is adopted, so she doesn't have like family here. Her real family is in Jamaica and England. So I didn't do much with her family, and my dad wasn't, like, he was around when I was growing up, but he didn't live with us. So my mom, we just stayed with my mom, or we would go to friends' house. It was very normal for me to like go to Christmas with like an extended cousin, like a family friend, or just go to friends' house during Thanksgiving. They'd invite me over and I'd go, or my best friend, I would always go. Christmas sometimes was just spent at home. It wasn't really much of a Christmas. I wasn't like the greatest child. So I wasn't excited to get up because I knew like there was really nothing for me, sad to say. I knew that at the time that I gave my mom a really hard time, and my mom is your traditional West Indian mom. You know, you have to have manners and respect, and she will reward good behavior. So with my kids, it's just keeping those traditions alive, which is having them all here and included, and just, you know, just sharing the love and the positivity. Like, my kids are great. Thank goodness.
Our kids?
Yeah. Our kids are great, right? So I just love the fact that we're able to host these traditions now. And I think in the near future, I would like to extend the invite to your family, and we'll just do it that way, where we're just hosting and just making it more like our thing that we carry into the future. That's all I really can say about that. It's already so different from what I have experienced in the past, like growing up now that I'm an adult with kids. So I would just like to keep it that way, because it's positive, it feels great. My kids have fun. They you know, kids, they love when the doorbell rings and someone comes over. They just get so excited. So being able to continue that and share it with others is a blessing, and that's really the only thing I'd like to continue. All right, guys, so that's our answer. We'd like to throw the question back to you guys, but let's read it one more time.
What holiday traditions are important to you that you'd like to keep going into the future?
Yes, guys, we'd like to hear this. So you know what to do. Drop a comment down below. That's a good one. Yeah, kind of shared a bit about our past and how it relates to the future and why we want to keep things moving forward. So I'm pretty sure our viewers should understand that. All right, so last question, and I believe it's you?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. What historical event do you wish you'd experienced firsthand? Well, that's interesting. What historical event do you wish you'd experienced firsthand?
That's a good question. Oh my gosh, I really don't know. I would need someone to help me generate ideas.
Okay, let's try and come up with some things. You don't look back too much. You've never looked at a picture and said, I wonder what it would be like to be there or to have been there. Like, imagine being at like a Michael Jackson concert. I'm bringing up concerts because my concerts my immediate go-to, because I've said it recently, like, oh my God, imagine being there and experiencing that. Like, there has to be something where that would have been amazing, like the people who were present at that time.
It's okay, you go ahead and answer because we'll be waiting for me. I'm
Really?
Not, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not too sure.
I think mine would be something really random, like Woodstock, or somebody just posted on Facebook, it's actually one of my former clients, AC/DC. I don't know what the actual event was, but it was AC/DC. They were on stage at Downsview Park in Toronto, and I've never seen so, like, it was just a sea of people, like as far as you could see, that crowd, and they're playing Thunderstruck, and I'm like, imagine what the energy would have been like to be there in person and feel that. That'd just be incredible. And like, imagine Woodstock and like Jimi Hendrix or one of these people, you're seeing them live and experiencing that, because the energy that you feel when that music's being played live and the whole crowd, all those people are into it.
Yeah.
It's just something, you, like, how do I say, like, you'd have to be there to understand it. So I only noticed from the couple concerts that I've been to how incredible they were. I've seen Green Day in a small venue, and that was amazing. That was one of my greatest experiences. And so to be at one of those other massive venues, I think that would be incredible. Historical event. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Woodstock.
Okay, so as you mentioned that, I think one thing that comes to mind for me that I would love to have experienced, is they used to do like a YouTube fan fest here.
Okay.
And I think it's funny because what I know now is not what I knew back then. But I think if I could take what I know now and I'm doing what I'm doing now, then I think I would have wanted to go to these YouTube fan fests just to meet other creators. Because I think once you're in the world of content creating, your life does change at a certain level. You appreciate people that create content because you understand the time and the effort it takes. And some people are doing brilliant things. They're doing great things. And I think we would be able to perhaps find mentors to help us, and not so much help us, but just someone that you can talk to that's in this world that's probably ahead of us, that can just give you some advice or just share some stories. And I'm the type of person that I love to get advice from people that have already been there. Like I like the mentorship type things with people. So during my master's in nursing, I had a mentor and she was amazing. Like I would always ask her questions. She said, look at this, if you want to think about doing this, take this. And she was really great. She's someone I still look up to. And we've mentioned before the Rush fam, and particularly the Rush fam just because they came from where we are. And it just makes it so inspirational to watch a family similar to ours just grow and make YouTube and content creating their career. I think that's what I would like to experience because, you know what, I didn't appreciate it back then. I started, but I didn't appreciate it because I didn't understand what it was. I was just trying it out, especially vlogging my pregnancy with Dani. I was doing everything on my own and I really didn't understand it. And I'm like, you know what? There were so many YouTube events and things that we could have done back then if I had understood what I understand now. And I think right now that resonates with me because where I am in life. So it was kind of long, but I had to really think about it. But thank you for, stimulating my mind because I'm sure if I hear something, something will come.
You can just talk it out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to say. So yes, that's my answer. A YouTube past event because I'm sure I would meet great people, great creators, and they could give me advice and I'd make friends. All right, guys, so that was our answer. We want to hear yours. But first, let me read the question one more time. What historical event do you wish you'd experience firsthand?
Man, okay. I'm really hoping for some feedback on this one because there's got to be some good things out there that
we're not thinking of.
Yeah, okay, like hearing Martin Luther King speak live.
Yes, I was thinking of that, Rosa Parks, or Maya Angelou speaking at like conferences that she did and things like that. It would have been really nice.
Even being in front of a television, watching the first man land on the moon. So you don't have to be there firsthand, but to witness that sort of taking place and what that felt like for people.
I'm sure there's so many things, but my answer just resonated so much more with me. And as I say Maya Angelou, I think she would have been a person that I would love to experience, like a conference that she did or something, because she always had great words of wisdom. That would have been good too. But I'm sure there's many more. Maybe you guys can help us out.
Oprah being in the audience.
Oh, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. See? Here it goes. All right, guys. You know what to do. Drop a comment down below. All right, so that was Date Night Conversations, episode 72. It's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was really fun. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're looking forward to interacting with you guys, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Bye.